Oh, yeah. I don't wanna be a safe bet, don't wanna be a plan B. Wanna be a top choice, not your top three. I'm so done, I'm so done.
I'm Andrea Askowitz.
I'm Allison Langer, and this is Writing Class Radio. You'll hear true personal stories and learn how to write your own stories. Together, we produce this podcast, which is equal parts heart and art. By heart, we mean the truth in a story. And by art, we mean the craft of writing. I can just see Andrea shaking her head. She's like, why are you fucking this up already?
No, I like it. I like how you're making it different. I like how you like really stress together. Like, I feel the togetherness. Thank you. Yeah, go on.
No matter what's going on in our lives, writing class is where we tell the truth. It's where we work out our shit. There's no place in the world like writing class, and we want to bring you in.
Today on our show, we bring you a story by Maxine Poupko. She's a semi-retired nurse and a longtime student of Writing Class Radio and a hilarious person. Today, we're talking about writing humor and writing the truth. So I think there's some debate about whether you can learn how to write the truth. I think some people think that you can't. You either have it or you don't. But Maxine Poupko is the poster maven for how you can learn to write the truth, because I've seen her do it. I've seen her do it for the last 5 years. She pulls it out in first drafts.
What do you mean? Like get really vulnerable? Like that truth that you don't want to tell anyone? What are you talking about?
That's what I mean. Yeah. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I thought that was understood. But yeah, Maxine Poupko, like in a first draft, she gets vulnerable, but she didn't at first. Remember?
I think she preferred humor. She tried to be super, super funny like somebody else we know in this room.
Me?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a way of deflecting vulnerability.
Well, that's really interesting because the story that we are going to bring you today is both super vulnerable and fucking hilarious.
Okay, but wait, before we get to all that, we have to explain to you how we first met Maxine. Can we do that now?
Do it. Let's do it now. Yeah.
Okay. So out of the clear blue sky in when was it? Like 2018 or something?
It was May 2018.
Yeah. We get this rando email in our inbox and it says, Allison, I've been obsessing for weeks about registering.
Oh, hold on. Wait, before you start. No, I wanted to read the Maxine parts and I want you to read the your parts.
Maybe Maxine could read it. Is that what you were thinking?
You want Maxine to read them? Because we do have a special guest in the house.
In the house. Let Maxine read her own fucking shit. Yeah, let's just have her.
All right, let's bring her up. Okay, so let's introduce what's about to happen. So it's an email back and forth between Maxine and Allison that happened in May 2018.
Allison, I've been obsessing for weeks about registering for your class. I love listening to the stories on Writing Class Radio. It's weird. I feel like I already know you and Andrea from listening to all the podcasts. I love them. I'm not a published writer, really, although I did have a few personal stories published accidentally. I would love to take your class, but I've been obsessing over the fee. I absolutely know that the class is worth the money. I'm an almost 69-year-old semi-retired nurse, mostly retired, have a bunch of medical issues. I'm on a budget, and the price of the class is high for me at this point. Any chance of lowering the fee? Ugh, there, I've said it. So when I'm done writing this, I will probably be obsessing about whether to actually send this. But if you're reading it, that particular obsession is over. And I also feel the need to apologize for this request and using way too many words and sounding like a nutcase in this request. Really sorry. You two are so worth the registration fee. That's for sure.
So I write Maxine back. Maxine, since your email made me laugh and I was just about to murder my son, Sloan, I feel like I cannot say no. Truly, you just saved his life. We'd love to have you in class. What can you afford without breaking the bank?
Allison, oh my God. I'm so glad I saved Sloan. Actually, I was sharing my obsession about taking the class with a friend of mine today. She suggested that I tell you that if you reduce the fee, I'll make people laugh. But I couldn't take her advice because I've absolutely no idea what makes people laugh. I can only tell what gives me a little chuckle because I'm my favorite audience. Truth be told, my writing isn't funny at all. Mostly it's kind of sad and tragic. When I raised my 3 kids as a single mother, I would call the hours from 5 to 8 child abuse hours. See? Not one person but me thought that was funny. I figured I could tell you since I saved you from murdering Sloan. I totally get it. Thank you in advance for your class that I know I will love. Maxine.
As you can tell, we're suckers for Maxine's humor. Back with Maxine's story after the break.
We're back. This is Andrea Askowitz, and you're listening to Writing Class Radio. Here's Maxine Poupko in the studio reading her story, Whipped Cream.
This month, I celebrate 45 years of not drinking and 45 years of going to AA meetings. Since the pandemic, I only go to meetings online. It's easy, and I don't have to leave home. The largest AA event I attended online was both in person and online. There were hundreds of people there. The guest speaker was known to be really good, which meant the message would be inspiring and powerful. I didn't want to miss it, even though I was usually in bed early, wearing my yellow t-shirt and nothing underneath. I always watch TV with my evening snack, Jell-O with whipped cream. I collect my whipped cream bottles, a small green sugar-free Jell-O cup, and a small sugar-free raspberry Jell-O. Please don't judge me. I bring them to my room and line them up on my windowsill behind my pillow at my headboard. One bottle of whipped cream is sugar-free and low-fat, and the other one is yummier with full-fat sugar and a pretty pink label. I alternate them so I won't eat too much of each one, but sometimes I definitely overdo it. I love the squirting sounds as the whipped cream whooshes from the bottle. I love the taste and texture of the whipped cream and Jell-O combination. When my Jell-O cup is empty and I've had a tough day, I repeatedly fill the cups with more and more whipped cream. It's hard to stop. I have fond memories growing up of my dad opening his mouth and we kids squirting whipped cream into it. My mother used to try to stop us from giving Dad too much. I live alone now. Until this big AA meeting, my whipped cream addiction was a secret. The night of the big Zoom Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, I did my ritual. I brought the supplies into my room and stripped off my clothes, slipping on just my yellow t-shirt. I brought my iPad into the bedroom and planted it at the foot of my bed. I logged onto the meeting. 786 people were on the Zoom. When I got into bed, I began my Jell-O whipped cream routine. I sprayed a lot of the silky, white, swirly cream on top of each Jell-O. I licked the white whipped cream in a circular motion to even out all the sides. Some nights I get carried away with the whipped cream, and this was one of those nights. I continuously filled the Jell-O cup with the yummy stuff. I was enjoying myself and the meeting as well. I listened to the speaker. He talked about being sober for many years, but how he picked up other addictions to numb himself. just the way alcohol used to numb him. He was engaging. I was relaxed and in my happy place. Toward the end of the meeting, I decided to check the chat. There was a barrage of messages sent directly to me. Maxine, can you put something on, please? Maxine, your video is on. Are you giving us a porno? Maxine, put your legs together and shut off your video immediately. Maxine, we thought it was a Zoom bomber, but it was you. I stopped reading. I felt faint. I was sitting comfortably with my legs spread. Because of where my iPad was positioned on its tall stand, my whole body was in clear view, including all my whipped cream and Jell-O paraphernalia. I was mortified. I decided I would never go to AA again.
Oh my God. So good. I just want the listener to know that this came directly from a prompt with basically this without editing. Like this came out of this narrator's head like this. We were cracking up. I think it was first draft, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's why I'm saying this narrator can write the truth right out of her head. A vulnerable, revealing. There's so much about this story that's like not easy to say. And even though she used humor, she's not hiding behind humor. It's just fucking funny. Holy shit. I love this story. I fucking love it.
Oh my God. And you know what's going to happen right at the top. Like I was already like, oh no, when she puts the camera down and she's got her thing. I'm like, oh God. So like the whole time, like I know before she knows, which is the funniest part of this whole thing.
That is the genius of the story. She tells us so we know. It's like we are watching this narrator like fly right into a wall. Like we are like, no, slow down. But she crashes. It's so tense. It's so crazy. Oh shit. It's so funny. Oh my God. Okay.
And it's so short.
That's true.
Yeah. It's really well done and a very few number of words.
It's probably like 500 words. I don't know. I can't remember. It's really short. Okay. I just want to say that the way that this narrator sets it up. Okay. So it's been 45 years of not drinking and 45 years of going to AA meetings. Here's a huge one coming up. Then she tells us right away about she always goes to bed early. And then she tells us about watching TV ritual where she just gets into bed with her Jell-O and whipped cream and her yellow t-shirt with nothing underneath. So that was it. That's how she set it up. And then we see that she's putting down her iPad at the base of her bed. Oh, God. Amazing. And then another thing that I noticed was like she used really interesting words like ritual, routine, paraphernalia. It's so good. So good that she did that. And then the way that here's the other part that I just thought this was awesome. She decides to check the chat and there's all these messages. Maxine, can you put something on, please? Maxine, your video is on. Are you giving us a porno? Like it's so funny. Put your legs together. Shut off your video immediately. We thought it was a Zoom bomber, but it was you. Like it totally ramps up. It's so funny. It's oh my God. But the part that's most embarrassing to this narrator, I think what she's saying is like, oh shit. They had a clear view of me, including all of my whipped cream and Jell-O paraphernalia. That was the part that was mortifying. And that's so funny, but it's also so vulnerable. I think it's beautiful.
To me, what I was thinking the whole time is that her body, although vulnerable, what's more vulnerable is that these 786 people saw her new addiction. So here she is in an AA meeting and just obviously still addicted, not to alcohol or drugs or any of that, like none of those substances, but to food, or at least this food. So I thought that was super vulnerable. And without having to say it out loud, we get it.
She does say that until this big AA meeting, my whipped cream addiction was a secret. She says that before. So she's leading us. She's leading us in.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. So she does clue us in.
Before we stop, I want to get back to the emails that she sent, because one of the things that she said in the email was that, one of the things was like that she doesn't know how to write funny or be funny. Like, okay, no, that's not true. And she knew it because she was just being self-deprecating, which is actually funny. But also she's like, my life is just sad and tragic, but sad and tragic, that's funny. And now she's telling us this is a failure moment. And that's why it's funny. So basically, I'm just saying that this narrator's a genius in humor. I want to know how she accidentally published stories. How does that happen? I wish my stories would accidentally get published.
Well, she just wrote this and we were like, oh my God, you've got to submit this. This is so good. Because I called you, remember, like the next day, I was like, oh my God, Maxine wrote the funniest fucking story ever. I mean, we address a lot of intense stuff, and this still has a very intense theme, like matter, but it's, we're old already. Like we're living life and life is rough. So it's like finding humor in the toughness of life and bonding together through it, which I think is really beautiful.
Amen. Thank you, Maxine Poupko, for sharing your story. If you loved Maxine's story, you can hear more Maxine on episode 158. That one's called Our Dead Mom Brings My Sister and Me Together. Great title.
I know. I love it.
Writing Class Radio is hosted by me, Andrea Askowitz.
And me, Allison Langer.
Audio production by Matt Cundill, Evan Surminski, Chloe Emond-Lane, and Aiden Glassey at the Sound Off Media Company. Theme music is by Justina Shandler. There's more writing class on our website, including stories we study, editing resources, video classes, writing retreats, and live online classes. Join our writing community by following us on Patreon. If you want to write with us every week, you can join our First Draft weekly writers groups. You have the option to join Allison on Tuesdays, 12 to 1 Eastern Time, or Eduardo Wink Thursdays, 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern. Maxine Poupko often shows up to those groups. So if you want to write with Maxine, this is your chance. You'll write to a prompt and share what you wrote. If you're a business owner, community activist, scientist, group that needs healing, entrepreneur, or anybody like that, and you need help making your team write better,
and getting your message out. Like if people aren't listening to you, learn how to write better and more personal so people will understand what you're trying to say. Don't you think?
Yeah, here. If that's what you want, check out all of our classes at writingclassradio.com. Join the community that comes together for instruction, an excuse to write, and the support from other writers. To learn more, go to writingclassradio.com. A new episode will drop every other Wednesday.
There's no better way to understand ourselves and each other than by writing and sharing our stories. Everyone has a story. What's yours?
I'm so done.
Produced and distributed by the Sound Off Media Company.